Inromaru. Excuse the slightly weird camera angle. I'm just trying out a new thing in case it goes well the first time. I've got some August catalogs and put them underneath the camera tripod so it kind of levels it up a bit. Maybe so I can give like a wider viewing and like a better viewing's perspective. So you can see more parts of the desk. You know, like off to the right more, off to the left. Anyway, this is the Inromaru. It's from 2009, Samurai Sentai Shinkenger. Why do I have this? Because I've been going in like more recent stuff, because I've been doing stuff from 2015, 2013, 2012. I suddenly come back with this. Why have I got this? Well, one reason. After I did the Caesar Blaster review, which was a few videos ago, I remembered that the pin system, which you can plainly see here with the Qtama, I realised that this uses a similar system, and you'll be seeing that later on. So I thought, why not try and see if I can hack this item? And I could, but I'll do that next video, because this video is just probably going to be about sounds and stuff. Because I've got to do an American comparison here too, so that's not going to be easy to do within like a rush. Anyway, so let's take a look at this item as it is. I got this from Amazon Japan, and the only real damage on it is the chrome wearing on the actual front, so it's a bit scratched. And yes, this entire front part is chrome indeed, it's shiny. This middle piece here, this little grey piece, that's light, that's an LED light, which we will see soon. As you can see, this little clear piece here is like a lock for the opening mechanism. So if you move it forward, kind of opens. You can open that there. Sides got really nothing to note. Same with the bottom actually. Let's just manipulate this slide around so we can show you some details a bit more clearly. Hang on. The bottom, the side again, that's got nothing really. Tops where the speakers are. Actually interesting to note that there's actually two battery compartments, because there's one on this side here, because there's the screw there, and then there's another one on this side too, because there's another screw there. So they both hold one battery each. On the back, again, there's not really that much to note, other than stuff for sounds. Basically, we've got the on-off switch here, top button, little stickyarity part here, because this is supposed to connect to the Shinkenger, which I don't have, because why should I have that actually? And there's a little button on the bottom of this piece here, which we'll get to later. Back has got this little release button here, which moves these little clips in and out. Nice little button on our switch, and you've got this little tiny black button right here, which is this little thing here, and that does some sounds too. So of course when you open it up like this, you can see that inside we've got some molded detail, quite a lot of molded detail actually. This little center piece here peeks through this little hole at the top, so as you can see, this is a hole now. It fits together like that. Nice little detail here. So this is an LED light. It's connected to this part where you hold the little hidden discs on it thing here. Now of course when you close it up, you'll hear some sounds. This is what this little button here triggers, those sounds, which I think is interesting, because it means you don't actually have to close it. You just need to push this button down to hear the sounds that would play if you were to close it. And the most important bit here is a pin system. There's 5 pins, which when pushed in combinations, you'll hear different noises. And of course, we've got a little sticker telling you which way to put the discs, which of course I will also be showing you that later. So before we get on to the sounds it offers, we can show you the 2 discs it comes with. We have 2 discs. We've got the super mode disc here, I've also got a Samurai Gatai disc. I can't remember which Samurai Gatai is, but as you can see, they're both black discs. Very nice. Give like a more serious aesthetic off, if anything. There's nice decal stickers as per usual. As you can see here, this little arrow is how you're supposed to attach the disc to the Inromaru. So put the arrow facing down. Spin it around, you can see here that we've got the back of the disc. Now we've got this little piece here. This little piece is actually what causes the Inromaru to come up with noises, because you can see here there's a space here. This is the empty spaces is all the pins represent the pins that are missed, and the filled in spot parts here, here, and here show what pins are pushed. So for example, if we look at the other disc here, you can see here that it's got the kanji for combine, I think it is. No, I think it's the gatai for. It's not the kanji for gatai. It's something else. I forget which one these. I forget what it's referring to. I only realised a few days ago that there's a silhouette in the background. It shows what combination, because this is meant to be the Claw Armor Megazord, or maybe Shinkenger, I think it's called. On the back here, you can see it looks basically the same apart from the different code at the bottom. As you can see here, we've got two different little codes on the bottom. So there's what's caused different sounds to come out. And yes, before you ask, I still have the sushi changer, and of course the sushi disc is the same except for the fact it folds up. As you can see, there's still the little arrow on the bottom. Turning it around, the little code isn't as obvious, but you can see here that there's still little little spaces which miss pins. Of course, you can use this disc on the Inromaru, and of course you can use these other discs here on top of the sushi changer. Although it looks a bit wrong if you do that. It looks a bit wrong when you open it as well, because it looks like you've just got these weird things that stick out. I think they did do this in the show a few times, not with these exact discs obviously, but I think with like a few other ones. Might have been the blank disc, I can't remember. Did they even make the blank disc a toy? I don't know. I think there's some discs that didn't get made into toys. I don't know why I'm moving the sushi disc away. I'm going to need that later. Now again, very quickly, I just want to do a comparison between this one and the American version, because we can't really insert this into any other part in this video. As you can see, the American version is quite small. There's no metallic paint on the front. Bottom, there's no big sticky outy thing. There's actually some paint on the side, so that's an improvement. Same here. Top's got this massive, great big hulking button. We're just going to show on the back very quickly. There's nothing really to note apart from the fact that it still has the same kind of Shinkenger spin sword blocking mechanism. Of course, the American version doesn't have a little lock on the bottom, it just opens, and there's nothing really too fancy inside apart from a little slidey thing when you push the top button here. Also, this can be taken off quite easily. You push the top button and this spins around. Just use one disc here to show you. So it doesn't really work, it doesn't have the same kind of pin system or anything like that. One thing I will point out about the American discs though is that you have the original Japanese discs right here. Like if we move this out of the way, we'll be able to put these down and show you. With the original Japanese discs here, they are like black on the back and on the reverse side. And we have the exact same discs, but for the American versions, as you can see, they made the Super Disc red for some reason, and they made the combination disc like a gold colour. Interestingly though, I think they kept the little arrow, even though the arrow can't really be used for anything, but they kept that in anyway. And the little decals are the same too. The little silhouettes, of course, being the same on this one too, as you can see, like the little silhouettes of the Claw Armor Megazord. Right, now we're going to get into the sounds the Inromaru has to offer us. I'm going to start by turning it on. There's like a nice little red LED for when it is turned on. Turning it on and then pushing the top button here does nothing because there's no disc inserted. We're just going to show you the stuff that it does on the back functions first, because I don't want to get to the disc functions, because this little changer works in a bit of a weird way, which I'll just demonstrate in a minute. Because if you attach this onto the Shinkenger and it's like spin the Shinkenger, because it's got like a little, it's the same as the spin sword. If you spin the Shinkenger, it'll press this top clear button several times, and when it does, it does that with the red with the red LED. Interesting. Now, if you push this little tiny black button right here, this is what happens when you insert it onto the Shinkenger. When you insert it and when you remove it, so it's got like a little an activation noise. Which, to be fair, when I got this item, I didn't think it would have. Anyway, when you open it up, it makes this little noise. And when you close it, it makes a noise. And when now notice how I haven't put a disc in there yet. So I just closed it, and the fact I haven't put a hidden disc in doesn't matter. It's just said hidden disc regardless, and it's come up with like a little yoo noise, and it does like different noises depending on same noise again, but with like a drum beat at the end. There's one more, I think. Laser. Yeah, so there's like 3 different noises on the end of hidden disc. Just to prove that, of course, you do not need to close it. There's like a little button on the bottom here which you can push. That applies to any disc, of course, you set in. Of course, with no disc inserted, it comes up with the hidden disc noise. Pushing the top button will do this. Oh. Oh. I thought it would do something, but no, it won't. No, okay, never mind. Closing it with no disc inserted does nothing. So now we're going to get on to the sounds that play when you do insert hidden discs. For a start, we're going to insert the super mode disc. Now, of course, with all the hidden discs, you need to line up the bottom arrow with the arrow on the actual thing, because that's where the code sits. The code has to line up with the pins on the bottom, otherwise. Well, we'll get to that later. There's no noise for attaching a disc or removing a disc. Difference is when you close it now. It says Super Disc. Pushing the button. That is the super mode change noise, which I think is the noise that's applied to every other disc you insert, which is a bit of a downer, honestly, but at least that's something. And yes, that's the only thing that changes when you insert a disc. This noise doesn't change at all. It doesn't do anything for attaching. Doesn't do anything when you spin it. It all stays the same, so I'm not going to bother showing any of that other stuff off. Now, of course, if you don't line the bottom arrow up, so it's at the bottom now, but if you turn it a bit, if the arrow doesn't line up with the arrow shown on the bottom, if both arrows line up, then it just goes back to this. so it won't recognize a disc at all. One thing I think is interesting is that it's possible to turn a disc upside down like this, and because the top of the discs are completely flat, it will hit all the pins at once. So if you do this with any disc, or if you press all 5 pins at once, it will come back with Tora disc, which is the disc that comes with the Tora origami. And of course, the top button noise is always going to be the same. So I think that's interesting how you can put a disc on upside down, it'll still work, albeit with a different noise. And now we're going to show off this is the combination disc. Putting in with the arrow facing. That's like a special noise. This is the Shin Samurai Gatai disc, and of course, that don't change, mate. And now for one bonus noise, we're just going to show up the sushi disc, because I had this disc on me anyway, because I had the sushi changer before it. Again, line up the arrow with the bottom, like this. Sushi disc, so that's a different noise. That stays the same though. So that is all the noises I'm able to get out with this without hacking. So I think this was the first Sentai item that worked with, I think this is running out of juice. Yeah, I had to turn the lights off at the switch, otherwise this wouldn't work. But now I can turn them back on again. Hooray! Let's just do that now, quickly. There we go. Oh, you can see my shadow. This light's not doing anything, so I'll have to charge it later. So that's basically everything this does without hacking. I think it's cool how they did use sounds for all of the discs. Now this was the first item in Super Sentai to have like a system where you could unlock new sounds by buying additional items. If I remember, it was in Go-Anja 1 series before this came out, it was a case of the engine souls, the collectibles, had the sounds and they didn't work off like a pin system or anything. So this was the first time that like like this kind of gimmick was used, and this kind of go on to be used forever, because it got used in Go Seija, Go Kaiju, basically every series that uses gimmicks, basically, or nearly all of them, because the Ninja doesn't use them. Basically the pin system, the rail system, everything that like the gimmicks used to unlock new sounds. That's a really successful business strategy, so they've kept on using it. Very good way of making cash. Now, of course, like with the Phaser Blaster, because if you remember, I used toothpicks to hack the Phaser Blaster. How am I going to hack this? I hear you scream from Devon. You know, Devon is part of the UK, I think. Well, it took me about 5 seconds to realise if you just put blue tack over these little pins here by pushing down these pins, because I remembered from before, I remembered if you put a disc on upside down like this, it would come out with the Tora sound, and that means it was pushing down on all of the pins. So I just needed something to push down the pins, and blue tack pushes down the pins for me. So I just apply blue tack to the pins and then close the lid, and then they'll come out with different noises. Now, again, this has got 5 pins as opposed to the Phaser Blaster's 6, so I don't think there's going to be as many sounds. I already know what they are, and I already wrote them all down. And of course, on the because I hope that the next video will just be one video. It's probably going to be about 30 or 40 minutes, but is going to be to show up all the sounds this thing's got programmed in it. Basically, and of course, I am going to give you the sounds list, the description on the next video. So that's going to be a thing. Again, when you see this video, it'll be January. So by then, I hope all the super things would have come out by then. Hopefully, I would have seen the Smith's catalogue by then. But again, because I'm filming this on the 2nd of October, I think, 2024. So none of those things have happened for me yet, but in the future they will. So oh, and one more thing. This thing right here, this Inromaru, is currently the last Sentai item I have. The next one I'm going to try and get is going to be a thing called Kiramager from 2020's Smashing the Sentai Kiramager, but I don't want to do that until the at least until the Lego set reviews and the Smith's catalogue review is done. I don't want to get involved with any more Sentai stuff until the current set of videos are done, which allows me to get on with those videos, but it also allows the more of the scheduled videos to come out. So in other words, I'm trying to get on with more videos present day instead of waiting until next year. So and in other words, I'm going to try and stop working ahead in advance. I'm going to try and focus on the remainder of 2024. But yeah, again, nothing has been really said about that yet. I'm going to try and stop myself from going on a present day rant in these future videos, because when these come out, this will mean nothing to you. It will mean nothing to the video schedule. It will just mean stuff to me. So what can I say apart from, because this is coming out in January, isn't it? What can I say apart from, well, this new Super Things series is going well, isn't it? You know, quickly, very weird future ahead thought, but if any of you know what T-Racers is doing like at the moment, because they've got a series called T-Racers Mix and Race, they've had they're calling them waves and they're not calling them series anymore. So they've had 2 series come out where they've all had the same name. So maybe, because again, I'm living in October 2024, the series that comes out in January 2025 when you're watching this, I'm going to bet that it will keep the Kazoom Power Battle name. I don't think they'll change the names of the series at all. I think they'll just keep the same name. So what else could I say for those seeing this? What can I say for those seeing this? Well, I hope that the new Super Singers Kazoom Power Battle series, or Wave, is doing good, and I hope it's not a complete letdown. And also, I'm just going to do one more bit of future predicting. I bet that no matter how long this Kazoom Power Battle series goes on for, I bet now it doesn't matter. I bet that it doesn't matter how long or how many older characters they reintroduce, like Super C or Jack Juicer. I bet that Arculus Max and Dr. Volt will never show up anywhere, because they haven't been doing that for a very long time. So I bet they won't show up at all. How much are we going to bet on that? 1p. Right. Goodbye. Bye.